You won't tell me who.
How could something, I'm not trying to be obstructive, but how could something be attorney-client privilege if it happened before the court?
Well, because if somebody's a represented party and they disclose the information that to you all as parties in this case, that could be a problem. That could be a problem.
I don't.
I mean, like I said, I don't know what was said to you. I don't.
I'm trying to get out.
Well, that's improper at this point in time.
Why?
Because you are telling the court conversations that you are privy to in my chambers that I know you weren't present.
But the court was present. That's what I'm trying to say.
That doesn't make a difference, but you got information that you shouldn't have had. And then you turn around and you say, well, the court did something wrong and that we should be entitled to have the transcript. You all have contorted and perverted that particular process. You really have. You will go into custody at 5 o'clock today or whenever we finish if you don't tell me what that is. Tell me who that is. This is criminal contempt. I have asked you a question related to this particular proceedings, and if you don't tell me, then you'll suffer the consequences of that.
And it is still so hard to believe that what we just saw, those small clips, are actually real, where Judge Glanville in this YSL Rico case against Young Thug and others claims that he's going to hold Brian Steele, defense counsel for Young Thug, in contempt if he doesn't tell him how he found out about an illegal ex parte meeting that he had, or he's going to arrest him, in which you guys know we did a video. He arrested him. It's just mind-boggling. And where does this take place? Of course, in Cash Money G's Fannie Willis's Fulton County. But that's not what today's video is about. I just had to show you that clip because sometimes I almost need to remind myself, hopefully you guys appreciate it too, this is not fiction. This is not Days of Our Lives. This is not a soap opera. This is not Hollywood. This is actually happening in Cash Money G Fannie Willis's Fulton County, which she has sanction and oversight over everything the prosecution is doing. And there's even alarmingly, but yet not shockingly, there's even some accusations that there's some kind of connection between Suge Knight, Judge Glanville, and Cash Money G. But today's video, so Judge Suge Knight was wrong about everything. Oh, you can't appeal it. Oh, this is not something you're supposed to know. The court is not responsible. You're not going to get away with it. He actually got overruled on everything. Steele did not actually have to go to jail. And now he faces recusal, which I think in all intents and purposes, it has to happen. It just has to happen, because you ask any legal expert, any legal scholar that knows their weight in gold, and they will tell you everything he did is wrong. Today, I'm going to be talking about a motion that was filed on July 8th from counsel Brian Steele, who represents Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug, a supplement motion to recuse Judge Glanville. Now, this was filed yesterday. I'll share the entire motion. It's over 230 pages long, but I have broken it down for us today in this video, everything you need to know. This is your one-stop shop. As always, you don't need to go anywhere else, so let's get into it. But, just in case you do, because I know there's a lot of you amazing, sophisticated, awesome, intelligent Nez Nation audience members, patriots of our great country, criminal justice system. They want to see everything return back to how our forefathers envisioned America. I will leave a link to the entire motion in the description and show notes. Okay, so let's break this down. So what are the main points of the motion to recuse from Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele? So Jeffrey Williams, through his lawyers, filed a motion to recuse Judge Glanville, Suge Knight, from his case. The motion is filed within the required time frame as per count of rules. So what are the grounds for this dismissal? Judge Glanville and other legal professionals engaged in an ex parte private communication without the presence of Williams or his counsel. These are the grounds for the recusal, which are legitimate, merit-based grounds. You ask any legal expert, any legal scholar, any attorney worth their weight in gold, and they will tell you this is 1,000,000,000% justified. These communications are considered prejudicial and suggest bias. Now, we did an entire video going over the transcripts. I highly recommend you check that out. It's an amazing video. I'll also leave it at the end screen, but it's on my channel. You got to check that out. Just type in Professor Nez ex parte transcript in the search bar on YouTube or wherever if you want to. Specific incidents highlighted in the recusal. Judge Glanville held a meeting with lawyers from prosecution and a key witness, Mr. Copeland, a.k.a. Little Woody, a.k.a. What you mean? She fired. I don't know. What'd I say? Huh? What you mean? That's Mr. Copeland. Without informing Williams or his defense team. The meeting aimed to persuade Mr. Copeland, it's just unreal that this is actually taking place, to testify against Williams. Literally, it's the judge, it's Fannie Willis Jr., district attorney, deputy district attorney, Miss Hilton, and Miss Love, and there's no defense counsel there. There's nobody representing the defense in this ex parte meeting, and they're literally coercing Little Woody, who fires his attorney, Kayla Bumpus. It's just, the drama is insane. Ex parte communications are illegal and considered harmful error. That is, again, the argument proposed in this motion. There are allegations of bias. Judge Glanville acted as part of the prosecution team rather than an impartial judge. And I think the transcript definitely, unequivocally represented that. The judge provided legal advice and strategies to the prosecution, which is against judicial ethics. Remember, all judges are supposed to have zero conflict of interest, zero impropriety, and zero even the appearance of impropriety. Those of you who've been following me covering the entire Cash Money G case know exactly what those terms mean. It was also revealed that Judge Glanville and Judge Krause exchanged financial contributions during re-election campaigns. I mean, how does it get any more conflict of interest than that? Raising concerns about impartiality. I mean, this motion is heavily thought out, articulate, constructed, and substantive. What are the legal and ethical violations? The motion argues that Judge Glanville violated, which he did, violated various judicial codes of conduct by engaging in these private meetings and by showing bias. He is supposed to be equivocal, aka neutral, aka objective, aka impartial. Every citizen, I don't care if you're famous, political, a president, former president, doesn't matter, is entitled in our American judicial system to a fair and impartial trial. So this violates all of that. The motion cites multiple legal precedents to support the argument that such actions require recusal. Remember, the biggest aid to your argument in any kind of motion, any kind of initiative, any kind of filing, argument, etc., is to back it up with actual case law and legal precedents, which is why I keep saying on this channel over and over again, what happened in New York against Trump sets a legal precedent. It's very dangerous to set legal precedents that are completely unfounded, meritless, and do not hold any weight or actual judicial legitimacy. Otherwise, other and future cases get affected. There's this beautiful poetic web of interlinking cases that can be used to argue before a court of law. Impact on the trial. The motion asserts that due to these actions, Williams' right to a fair trial has been compromised, which is 100% accurate. Any conviction and sentence would likely be overturned on appeal due to these prejudicial actions. So there's also a request for immediate action. The motion calls for the immediate recusal of Judge Glanville and the disqualification of lawyers involved in the ex parte communications. Those lawyers, a.k.a. the district attorney's office, a.k.a. Fannie Willis, Cash Money G. Our girl, you know her, I love her, we all love her. It's Cash Money G. It also requests a thorough investigation into the misconduct of the involved parties. Now, if you remember back to the McAfee disqualification hearing from Fannie Willis, there was a lot of these similar types of motions filed by the Pitbull, Steve Sadow, Trump's lead defense attorney. None of it really came to fruition. I don't know if this will either. So what are the implications of these motions? These are pretty heavy. Fairness and legal proceedings. The motion highlights the importance of impartiality in any judiciary. Any appearance of bias undermines public confidence in the legal system. I don't know if there's any saving the legal system at this point. It just seems so, especially, and again, I say this time and time again, the tragedy here is really the people of Fulton County, Atlanta, the state of Georgia, hardworking, tax-paying citizens who are being robbed of any semblance of justice because the people who are running the system are more corrupt than anything I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen a lot. These people are so, I mean, what Fannie Willis has done, what Judge Glanville has done, what Love has done, what these attorneys have done, what this other judge that got recused. I mean, they are all so, they're falling under the weight of their own corruption. Judges must adhere to strict ethical standards to ensure justice is served fairly. Violations of these standards can lead to significant legal consequences, legal precedents. The motion references multiple cases to establish the legal framework supporting recusal and the harmful impact of ex parte communications, which are illegal without both parties present or even both parties understanding that. Understanding these precedents helps illustrate the gravity of the accusations. The rights of the accused, ensuring that the accused receives a fair trial, is a fundamental principle of the legal system. I alluded to this earlier. Any actions compromising this principle must be addressed promptly. The potential outcomes, here's the potential outcomes. Here's the biggie, y'all. And I think a lot of these should actually come to pass. If the motion is granted, a new judge would be assigned to the case. I don't know if it would ensure a fair trial process, but definitely having Glanville out of there, who engaged in something so illegal as this ex parte communication, and then reprimanding and demanding contempt charges against the defense when they said, we're allowed, entitled. There's no such thing as attorney-client privilege when it comes to this. This is witness coercion, and even put the court on the witness list. So imagine Brian Steele cross-examining a little Woody whenever that's going to take place. He's going to ask about this ex parte communication. The judge will be 100% implicated. It's most egregious miscarriage of justice. The involved lawyers might face disciplinary actions depending on the investigation's findings. And so there's so many things that could happen, that should happen, and I 100% agree with defense counsel Brian Steele in every legal case, precedent, and argument and articulation. It absolutely should be granted. But I want to throw this off to you guys, Nez Nation. What do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think that we're going to get more of the merry-go-round drama and the empty promises of a legal system that does not support the truth, does not support fair and impartiality, does not support the appearance of impropriety as being grounds for recusal, grounds for disqualification? We've been through one disqualification hearing before in Fulton County. Are we going to see another one? You know, your boy Nez is going to go live. I'm going to cover that in any way, shape, or form. This is the only place you need to be. I highly recommend you subscribe. And actually, if you've made it this far, our free newsletter, absolutely free, is in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. All you got to do is give us your best email. Click on that link, give us your best email, plug it in there, and you're in. You'll never miss out on all of the updates, latest live breaking news as they happen that woke mainstream media won't cover, conveniently right to your inbox. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are, your comments on this. Please tap that thumbs up. It's not vanity. This helps us push our video out to more people. We want to get as many people going so we can get our country back. We are on the side of truth. We are on the side of objectivity. I have taught Aristotle's principles of rhetoric for decades. We're here about dissecting messages, all in the name of American freedom, values, principles, everything our framers of the Constitution envision for us. We are slowly but surely detracting and becoming unrecognizable, backing away from those values and principles. It's my heartfelt purpose to ensnare that back. We need it for our country. It is the right thing to do. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right now. Follow, subscribe down there. And as always, God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.